Lee, one of the things we're seeing in the world of AI is these massive alliances, where different companies form partnerships and everybody brings a piece of their expertise to the thing and they
Are we
cobble
ever?
it together,
Yeah.
an alliance. It's not always clear publicly who gets what from whom and who put what in, but you've got one. You got one that just came out.
Boy, do I ever. I mean, when you get okay, and I'm gonna read these off to you. Doug, when you get BlackRock, who's clearly has more dough than anybody in the world, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and OpenAI to all chip in $40 billion to buy aligned data centers, that shows you that the demand for cloud computing and data center storage and retrieval and all of that has got to be, they see it to be exponentially much bigger than we can see it right now, or why would they go in and spend $40 billion to buy this? And I think it's pretty provocative because it's like all four major partners in the industry who have been very happy to just do circular financing, is now we have now deemed it to be, that they're going to combine to have this capacity for cloud computing and all the above. But $40 billion is a big chunk of dough even for those kind of major players. And it's interesting, will we see more of this? Will we see um, other data center providers? And there's big ones, there's super big ones, and Digital Realty, people like that. Will somebody go in and make a big play for them, or somebody else, of that size and scope? I think it'll be interesting to see if this expands and there's more data center
This
purchases,
has gotten to
as we
be
head
such
down
a
the
big
road.
deal that if you called me up tomorrow and said to me that Microsoft bought Duke Energy, there's or Constellation, this is crazy enough now so that you could actually see a consolidation based on ownership schemes. If I've got the technology and you've got the infrastructure, maybe I should just buy you.
Absolutely. And I don't think, and as we've discussed, you're not going to build any small scale nuclear reactors anytime soon. And the approval process, could take forever. Although I'm sure they could help speed it up because we're going to need it for the national power grid, because we're going to need it. But yeah, I think that's true. And there's big players like Digital and Equinix and people like that, that have been in the business forever, from startup, in that industry. And it's interesting to focus on, well, will they continue to build more, or will people continue to consolidate that industry? Because again, the question is it getting away from itself as well? Are we building too many data centers? I don't think so, because the demand is just never ending. But boy, there's going to be a point, I think, and we've had this discussion, where data center usage and power usage is gonna, there's gonna be an issue here at some point. And that's why most of these people are trying to desperately to find a way. That's why they're building data centers in North Dakota and South Dakota, because of the big oil uh, fields up there. And that's why they're building them in Texas. That's why they're building them out in the Permian and out there. And so it's like, okay, if we can't bring the electricity to us, we'll go to where
Well, that's
the
that's an
natural gas
option.
is, and we'll build our own.
It's funny. CNBC did an article today, and it's based on a see your own shadow premise. Apparently, the people looking for data centers are shopping around the utilities. So if I'm going to build a data center, I may call 10 utilities to try to. What's happening is the utilities are now getting confused about how many data
Right.
centers they might be. Because if you call me and it's just I'm the one utility and you're the one person who wants a data center, that's easy to count, right? One guy called me about one data center. But if I'm the utility and 10
Yeah.
data centers call me
Yeah.
because they're shopping around, and you say to me, do a forecast. I want you to forecast for me how many data centers we're going to have to support. It's like, well, 10 guys called me, but what if I don't get any of them? Or what if I get all 10? So there's a
Yeah.
capacity calculation
Yeah,
problem, which
absolutely.
actually
Yeah.
has the chance of being that you'll have overbuilding. It could be that people get enough phone calls that they think, well, I'll build
Yeah.
because I'm going to get 5 of the 10. The
Yeah.
next utility the town over does the same thing. Town over there is a situation, a scenario, as they say, where you could have overbuilding based on shadow demand, which is they asked me, so it must be that they've picked me.
And the thing that will be interesting to see if we do overbuild, which typically, has happened in the United States for you name it, what do you do with empty data centers
You
with
know,
racks and racks and
there'll
racks
be a
of servers
comeback
and
for beef in the United States, and
computers
when
and
that happens, we'll just pull out the racks and turn them into huge barnyards. That's about all. Listen, at least we know they have to be close to water for cooling. We know that they'll get some electricity, so we need to keep the lights on for the
yep,
cattle. So there'll be water for the cattle because they'll have
yeah,
access to water, and we'll have some electricity, and we can use them basically as huge farms.
right. Well, I think this deal is either the beginning of the end or the end of the beginning. I don't know what it is for the data center wave and data center building and data center construction, but we'll find that out soon enough.